What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Haze Demon Show. We are going to be going over our Team Wars rewards for the old account and the new account, the main account, the baby account, you know what I'm saying? We got first place on our main account here with the Merc Demons. Can't call them diamonds anymore now, can we? And it's 50 out of 50. We had 47 runs. We said 4,900. Did pretty good there. GG's. We shouldn't be doing this though. We were number 169 team in the world, and we're about to be top 150 for some reason. I don't know if we're gonna keep going up or whatnot. Probably till we hit gold, I guess, and then we'll kind of like, you know, find our place. No legendary here on the main one.
No legendary. Sweet epic
main
card.
account. I'm just gonna go ahead and request my nymph Nicole, even though I've been requesting lots of different cards. Captain Diabetes kind of being the main one I've been going for here. But look at how many times Maxi comes up in this, so like it kind of makes sense why I should pick Maxi. But we got here the mystical fantasy adventure superhero theme combination here. Zen Cartman is always going to be the best choice when it comes to tanks, especially against himself of a 4 cost versus 3 cost. Like, how much health of here is 790, 912. So it's a pretty good amount, even right there at base level. And the Rogue token, or we have the Randy. Randy could do some pretty good offense, but all Randys are generally just not good. Rogue token could be played quite defensively, 4 cost. Move some units off the field, yada yada yada. We have the Transmogrification or Aerostorm. Aerostorm can counter what I can see coming up here next without being too much of a problem. However, the Transmogrification would get rid of the real problem here, potentially. So between Hanky and the Inuit Kenny, it's a no-brainer. Inuit Kenny's chip damage is too strong. His attacks are too strong. His health is too strong. For a level 14 new kit, it is incomparable of the two. And it used to be where I would not really ever pick Inuit Kenny before they had buffed him, but now it's pretty much a for sure pick, especially in Team Wars. And then here's the same thing that we seem to see all the time, and it just makes me a very sad panda, and that is because Maxi versus Mimsy every single time. Their originality in this game is extremely extreme, as it basically is a no-brainer that we can't pick Maxi. If you want to lose the game, pick Mimsy. If you want to win the game, pick Maxi. It's not really fair for Mimsy. Mimsy, you know, being put up against maybe Swordsman Garrison, then yeah, we would pick Mimsy over him. We actually would have a real choice here. Of course, I know Swordsman Garrison would still be better, but I'm just saying. But the Maxi just is absolutely, you cannot play without it. Your opponent's going to be playing with it no matter what, pretty much. So the Robin Tweak versus the Outlaw Tweak, the 3 cost versus the 4 cost. This unit is basically worth 4 energy. It used to be a 4 cost unit, and really it might even be worth 5 energy, but let's just say it's 4.2 energy to be very clear here. And so there it is. It is a 100% choice. You're healing, you're going to do extra damage from the background, yada 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 yada. You can surprise people with this unit, especially with like Inuit Kenny or Hanky if you were going to play him. And so here we have between the Enforcer Jimmy and the Swordsman Garrison. And you can really look through here just barely and see that there's not really anything good that Enforcer Jimmy is going to be able to stop. And the 5 cost unit is a much more safer play. Even though the easier rotation to get around to the proper unit you need here, it's more than likely that your Maxi is going to get removed, and then you'll be more likely to be able to play Swordsman Garrison. And just some situations you're just going to want that more beefy body in, really realistically here. The Mintberry Crunch is super good at clearing the battlefield and winning and gaining advantage, but it just doesn't really compare so much to Medusa's babies. Not really the snakes, but her removal of units to cause the snakes makes enemies slow their attacks and whatnot. But just the fact that she's so much more tanky is really what's going to set the bar here, because let's say that you put your unit on here and then they put their Mintberry on there, you know, and then you're going to be fighting units in the middle. And let's say everything in the middle is completely even and he's getting off his ability. If it hits multiple units, it can definitely be even more critical of an advantage, but she's so tanky compared to him that once she gets, if she does get locked onto him, that he won't be able to survive the trades, or one of the other units might be able to lock onto him and kill him faster in between his ability rotations, while she can still stay alive. Also, if you have the Marine Craig, then she definitely can survive that. Angel Windy, though, is really the better choice because of the healing and then all the other tanks that we have here. So it's really no choice here, the 3 versus the 4 cost units. And then we have the tool shed versus the program stand, I mean. And you could say that maybe you could get away with some program stand shenanigans, but overall, tool shed is going to be 100% more effective, even though he got nerfed. His ability is just very good. Very good at getting an advantage, especially against a lot of the tank units. And then there's the possibility that he gets his double ability off. It just hits twice for some reason, and it's just not fair for anybody. Paladin versus the Deckhand Butters. Here's where it comes down to the Deckhand Butters doesn't have a good enough heal or stats. One of the two. He doesn't have enough heal or stats to make it worth the 3 cost. So the 2 cost shield is just a better choice. If they make it better like how they made Inuit Kenny, then it makes more sense to pick him, but just not really. The healing can come into play in some of the lower level arenas, so I guess more than the shield can. And then we have the energy staff or the Castle Defender. It's a 4 energy unit that really doesn't do anything, but at the same time you're just sitting there chilling and you can reuse your energy for something else. But this unit can technically generate more value because for 1 more energy you're getting the ranged unit and then you're getting the tank. But then you can also do damage and soak damage, right, overall. So the Castle Defender is just going to be the better choice. Even though most of us don't have it leveled up, this card you don't need leveled up at all, so it doesn't really matter. That's kind of not really deciding factor there, but we're going to go with that for that. So let's see what we have here for our Merc Diamonds. Did the Merc Diamonds manage to hit first place? Yes, we did. First place 2 times in a row, back-to-back champions, the Merc Diamonds. Making it look really easy with the base card levels. 25 members rockin' socking them, bebopping and bow-bopping them. Only 1 person did not do their missions here. So we have even a higher percentage of turnout or turn-in or whatever. Participation on this team than on the other one, huh? Is it? Right, math, do math. 3 were missing out of the 50 on the other one, and 1 was missing out of the 25 here. Show me a legendary. Come on. Scout Ikes are good. Alien Clyde's getting a buff nerf.
A rare? Save that for later.
Oh my goodness. I think we are getting a legendary,
nice
ladies and gentlemen. It'll be my... No, never
Rare
mind. I'm
cards can
sorry.
be
I'm
really
getting a little
helpful.
ahead of myself there. Nope, no legendary.
Epics are pretty sweet, am I right?
We're getting a little ahead of ourselves there. It's okay. We got 3 of them so far in a row.
Like a
Oh, but
superhero
we
saving the
did
day.
end up getting Santa Claus. We got Osimo. Technically, it was the first time we got him, so that's good. But I don't really care to use him. But Santa Claus is going to be absolutely awesome. We just got Hanky over the weekend for the event. Yeah, in the event, the solo pack, right? Yeah. And now we got Santa Claus. Now I can request him to get him up to level 2. Or whatever. You know, I might do that, maybe. I'm not sure what other epics I want to get, though. We'll see. Because right now I'm still not really even sure what I'm requesting for my regular cards. But I think I want to at least get something to level 4 that is not already level 4. So I think it's between Catapult Timmy and Kylo Elves, and Catapult Timmy is underleveled right now. This is kind of like my main deck that you can see I can request through. And I really don't... I mean, Mare McDaniels would definitely be a good choice. We were already utilizing her for the weekend. I don't care about anything there and anything there, so that doesn't matter. So I did request One Ice Cyber Winnie, so I could go ahead and get her to level 3, but that's not... I don't really want to get any higher there. Space Warrior Token, I think that's the card that I was thinking of getting up to level 4, since it was sci-fi. Because I'm working on so many... Of course, I'm going to be working on so many different fantasy things, like which garrison I want to get leveled up, since I just got him too. So much to do, so much to see, so what's wrong with taking the back street? We're going to go with which garrison, alright? So that's going to be the choice. And so we have here for the voting, it's pretty simple. I'm not going to really go through it too much. Mimsy, Transmogrification, Swordsman Garrison, Angel Windy, Robin Tweak, Castle Defender, Toolshed. My team's going for Pocahontas Randy in this, and I can see exactly why, because he will be able to summon units and he can do more damage, and this isn't really going to do a lot of damage at all. I don't think it'll tell me even how much damage, because this game is so good at providing information to the player. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, we can look it up and blah, 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 third party, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So I guess my team wants to play Pocahontas Randy, that's fine. I just kind of go with the tide a lot of the time in these things, and I don't really think Rogue Token would be very good anyway. Paladin Butters makes sense. Anyway, Kenny still. My team is wanting to go Mintberry Crunch, and I don't agree with that. I think the Medusa Baby is still very tanky. And however, how much damage does she do at base level? Because we are going to be playing at base level. So 50 damage here versus 30 damage, and then 175 health plus the whatever attack it does. Yeah, I don't agree with the Mintberry Crunch, but it's fine if my team goes for it since we're playing in the lower ranks. Anyway, I mean, I guess it would be fun to be able to play it, so why not? I'll vote for it too. My team making the decisions for me, right? And that's okay. Alrighty, guys, that's gonna be it. Thank you. Oh, no, wait a second. I got one more thing I wanted to share with you guys, which is the developer update. We don't do developer updates very often around here, but we do have one of interest here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this one. So everybody wants the berries nerf. It ain't gonna happen, but it did. We want to go ahead and just enhance this here. To some degree. Who cares about all this other stuff that's going on here? Yada, 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 yada. We don't care about that. Upkeeping balance update. Now let's see where we are here. Cannot see it. Right. Gotcha. And that'll work. So basically they're doing a change to new kid, which I think everybody was thinking the new kid buff was going to be like making them to where you could get to level 30 new kid, but it looks like they're making it to where the stun is from 1 second to 2 seconds, which I think this is going to be more affecting in team wars. It's going to be more effective in the lower ranks and in chaos mode. I think this is where it's really chaos mode specifically. This shockwave stun is really going to start affecting the game more. I think at the higher ranks, it won't be as big of a change, but at the same time, it still provides people with a way to defend their new kid in between losing a bar in a very specific situation that we'll be talking about right now, right this very moment. Sizzler Stewart, everybody did not like that Sizzler Stewart was able to take the bar and instantly lock right back onto the new kid and take another one without being killed. Even if he had a very low amount of health, his attack was too fast. So this 1 second addition is a type of what you would say an indirect nerf to Sizzler Stewart and to a lot of other units. Obviously it's the buff to the new kid, but this is something very specific that people complain about at the highest ranks, and this will be the same thing as like a couple of assassins just barely surviving with the health. Well, usually they just die from the blast anyway, so don't worry about that. But that's what that would be like in challenge mode is what I'm talking about there. Yep. With challenge mode and possibly team wars, it's actually tough for the new kid in Team Wars at level 14, so I'm not so sure about that. But all right, let's check out this Alien Clyde here. Well, Alien Clyde's total power damage has been higher than Hook Hand Clyde's parrot. The delayed damage has not been useful. With stronger poison ticks which spread to enemies near the target, we are expected Alien Clyde to be a valid alternative to his adventure-themed counterpart. They're basically buffing his health and his attack, which I think is something that he needed for sure in order to be more viable in the game in general. But they're changing it to where he will do more damage per second, but he does less damage overall than he did before. So he does less damage, but he will spread the damage. So whatever unit he hits, we don't really know how big the area is, but it's going to be like Marine Craig. He shoots it over, it hits a target, and then it's going to spread from there. We don't know if it's going to be a circle or if it's going to be like in contact. If they're touching Alien Clyde, then they'll get the poison, or if they're within a certain range of him, like he walks and he's got an aura around him that will keep poisoning different targets that are next to him and keep spreading the poison. It can keep spreading repeatedly. We don't know if it can spread repeatedly or not yet. It's near the target, so it could just be the one, and it could be just like Marine Craig, or it could be something that spreads. That would be nice if it did, but I don't think it's going to do that, right? But anyway, basically the idea is that they're nerfing him. I mean, they're nerfing his ability and giving him more stats, which stats usually will equate to you can use the card almost no matter what, especially in lower arenas, especially in chaos mode. You can use them more, but the thing is that he will not be able to kill units like before. He was able to kill a Mecha Timmy level 4, level 6. He would kill Mecha Timmy or whatever it is. Maybe not that low exact thing, but you know what I'm saying. He like certain units would die from that, but now maybe there'll be units like Mintberry Crunch, Call Girl, who are ranged units in the back that are not necessarily have a lot of health. You know what I'm saying? And so that's actually, it still kind of comes down to this thing where sci-fi counters sci-fi, because you throw the poison out against sci-fi, you're killing visitors, you're killing Bounty Hunter Kyle, Robo Baby, Ice Sniper Wendy. You know, the whole entire crew is pretty much weak to poison, so this is just making Alien Clyde be able to counter sci-fi more, and you know, and some of the other units too, but basically poison really counters sci-fi, and you know, like I said, some other units or whatever. But here's the one that I'm actually really interested in here, is the Woodland Critters buff. Even though it's just one minor change to him here, but it's going to be a major one when it comes to synergization, and that's going to be the charge duration. Instead of it taking 10 seconds to be able to absorb a unit, now it's only going to take 4 seconds. And so before, the way that I would have to play Woodland Critters is I would have to play them in the corner, and I'd have to have some way, like maybe the units are coming towards me, some way to stall into my side or whatever, so that I have time to at least eat 2 units before he hits the mid lane, mid lane or whatever, middle of the battlefield, and then he starts to be targeted. So what it needed to be was so much health per charge in order to make it effective, because if you just absorb small units, then they could just kill him and he wouldn't have enough attack anyway from the smaller units. But now this allows him to sit behind Chicken Coop, specifically Chicken Coop, and absorb every single chicken and get the he's not going to be able to maximize his ability, but he's going to be able to get constantly stronger from each one. So this is actually like a double synergization, because now Woodland Critters also synergizes with Nymph Nicole, because they have this similar, since they work with critters, because he didn't work before. And it's really funny because it's called Woodland Critters and they didn't work with critters, and now they work with critters. I know it's going to keep saying the word critters because it's Woodland Critter Blood Orgy time, right? Okay, so I'm really excited about this one. It kind of sucks because this weekend is Woodland Critters is an event card, but the buff will be next Tuesday. But I already have them at level 5, so that's not going to be a big deal for me. I think that this won't make them OP. This will just make them have more deck options, more deck synergizations. Like now also absorbing Mysterion, although it would give you a lot of attack, the maximum you could get, it wasn't giving you the maximum health. But now you could literally hit him as soon as he spawns and then get him right as soon as he spawns again, without it really being a factor in how much health you're getting per boost. Like I was saying before, if you get targeted, because if you have low health, you're just going to die, or you get lightning bolted, You know what I'm saying? Like if you ate 2 chickens, you made it to the middle field, you're gonna get lightning bolted. You would be dead, right? But if you ate 2 Witch Doctor tokens, you're gonna be beefy, cheddar, cheesy, to some degree. Anyway, this one is a really interesting one for me. I'm not so sure why Red Links did this, but they've made shield every time we wonder why. But this one is one of those things that is an enigma wrapped in another enigma, and it is going to be Shield Maiden Wendy's blah 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 blah. They've basically buffed Shield Maiden Wendy's health. Did you know that people thought that Shield Maiden Wendy was not that good, so they decided that they buff her? Now I'm pretty sure that every single person you would ask would say that Shield Maiden was OP, was possibly the best legendary in the game. I wouldn't say that myself just because there's so many more wow factors with other cards, but her consistency per energy value was up there, out in the yin yang in this thing, right? Especially with Mr. Hanky the Christmas Poo. So what they've done is changed it so that she has more health and her power duration is going to be increased to 4 seconds for anybody who was lower than level 4, because at level 4 you were at 3.98, so it's a buff at level 4, but I had level 5, which was 4.22 seconds. And the difference, that difference of the 0.22 seconds or whatever, 0.24 second difference, is where Hanky would come into play, and she would be able to use her shield, and then by the time her shield went down, she'd be able to use her shield again. So now with this 0.22 seconds, and level 6 would have a slightly higher shield length also, technically, but I don't know that number. But now that it being at 4 seconds, there will be a window where she will not be able to shield, even if she's been hankied. Now, of course, you're playing Kyle Droves in the corner. All you got to do is shield with him, then she can still get her infinite shield in between there, per se. That's how you do it, right? Okay, so a buff to her health, putting her at 1100 health at level 5 is pretty beefy. Or is it 1200 health? I'm not even sure, but I think it's insane that they're giving her this much health for a for a 3 cost unit, because there's so many 5 cost units, Mary Jane Randy specifically here, that has less than 1000 health for 5 energy. And it's just that's crazy that Shield Maiden Wendy's going to be that much more consistent. She's going to be that much more consistent. She's going to be better. This is a buff to my miniature, my alternate account, because I have her at level 1. So she's getting a buff. She's going to have 4 seconds now that she would not have had, and she's going to have 22% more health than she had before. So that's this pure buff for me across the board at level 1. Also, technically for Chaos Mode too, now that I think about it. Yeah, that's true. Chaos Mode for sure. She just got a buff in there. And then, so here's the member berries that people have all been waiting for, the nerf. Now, is this a big enough nerf? I don't know. We'll see. Maximum spread goes from 3 to 2, which to me, that can be a significant difference, because what this is there's times where your deck isn't necessarily going to have all large units in it. So the chance that you get a 2 cost unit put out there, you don't still have 2 more opportunities for those 7 cost units, or 5 or 6 or whatever, right? So this will narrow it down to the chance that you have to play more strategically and not accidentally get the wrong units, right? But you can still get Pope Timmy and Call Girl from those 2 units, which means that you'd have Call Girl and the Coon and the Pope Timmy and whatever. Let's just say a 3 cost unit, because let's just say 4 cost unit for whatever. So you're basically looking at like 9, artificially 9, and you know what I mean, and 11. But it's not. It's 11 with the Call Girl Coon, but technically, she's 6 cost. But is she really 6 energy because she's getting him out for 5? No, she's really like 1 energy, or let's say 2. But anyway, and then or you're getting like Man Bear Pig. You're only getting Man Bear Pig in 1 other unit. Now, if you get now the maximum health that you can get now, because this is where I think the biggest nerf is here, is health wise. When you got 3 units, you had that much more health on the board. the 1000 from whatever one of them is, and then you got Manberpig with over 3000 health, and then you got Scuzzlebutt with over 4000 health, or whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? And then so that other third unit could with Pope Timmy, that's where the DPS is coming in from, these tank units or whatever. So even though they can still do good, yes, it's still going to be really OP because they didn't change the size of the circle, which is what everybody was thinking they were going to do. Even like a 10% nerf to the size of the circle would have been pretty critical, and still make it a viable card, but like, you know, making it more than that would have been too big of a nerf. And then I was thinking that they needed to just make it synergize with only like 4 or 5 cost units. It can only summon those or lower, so that Manberpig and yada yada doesn't have that chance to be in the deck. But the thing is that's kind of what makes Member Berries fun, is those cards that normally can't get played are able to. But the thing is that Member Berries is really good when you just have a deck that is already good and you put them in with a pocket card, because we were talking about Rez and with Rez about this, but it's exactly what it is. You can just overrun your opponent with way energy efficient and strategic gameplay. So the Member Berries are still going to be OP. They're still going to be just as good as Satan, and they're still going to be good enough for you to want to go out there and buy a legendary Future Randy. But I bought 3 packs and I got, for a 50% chance, I bought 3 packs of Future Randy and I got 0. So I would recommend don't do it unless it's a guaranteed chance. And even then, man, I might have to skip the next time because that was messed up, right? So here's another one. We're talking about the Sizzler Stewart. There was already an indirect nerf to him, which was the buff to the new kid. But here it is. They're increasing his movement speed. Oh my goodness. Is this actually a nerf? Nah, debatable. It's more of like a rework because they're changing it so that he does 1% less health. 1% less attack speed, which was his 8th attack, is what they saying up here. But we're not worried about that. What it is here is his movement speed buff. So while he's attacking after 7 times, instead of moving twice as fast at 200%, he's only going to be moving 18% faster. So he's still going to be roughly faster when he starts, but he's not going to be nowhere near his top speed that he was before. So he's got like a higher acceleration basically to his speed, but he's still going to be, in general, he won't be able to walk as fast once he's buffed up. So it'll give people more time to react, and this will also directly be affecting the new kid, like him getting stunned and him walking slower at top speed we're talking about here, right? So it'll slow him down in general to get him out of there. But his attack speed still being basically the same means that he's still a very viable card. They're just basically just trying to make sure he can't get double bar type deals, and make him more of a consistent card, I think, and just but not able to kill so many units. Like the top speed decrease will allow range units to be able to make up the difference, and then just giving you more time to get energy in your hand to deal with him, I think, is what it really comes down to there. Alrighty, guys, so that is the developer update, which we don't really do all the time, but I do think about doing it sometimes when they actually have balance changes, because all the other times it's just the same old schlop, and I don't want to keep serving schlop. And so this is at least a little bit more flavored schlop, and with some really weird stuff in there and some member berries as well. But we're gonna head out of here. So have a wonderful day, have a wonderful night. Don't forget to bring a towel. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and follow me on twitch.tv/HazeDemon and trovo.live/HazeDemon. Again, have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and don't forget to bring a towel. Peace out.